Good afternoon, Colorado. Welcome to episode 300 of What's for Lunch. Today in studio, what are you doing over there, Josh? You ready for running it? Today in studio, I have Josh from Safta, my favorite restaurant. Thank you. I'm really honored to be here. It's a really big deal to me. Before we get into Josh and Safta, let's talk about this show. First, I want to thank all 300 restaurants that have come on. Why we do this show, it started April 15th of 2020. We decided we need to do what we can to try and help restaurants. And we originally started this was just going to be on YouTube. Then we added Facebook. Then we added Instagram. Then we added TikTok. And we're going to keep doing this show till nobody wants to come on anymore. And we've done it for free, 300 episodes for free. And I'd like to think that we've made we've done what we could to help. And if you want to come back on the show, you can come back on a second time. A few people have done that. This is actually Safta's second time. I think that's all I really have to say. So, little history of Safta.
A little history of Safta. We actually had our 3rd year anniversary this past month, and opened by Alon and Emily Shaya from New Orleans, and they decided to open a restaurant out here in Colorado. A little bit about me. I actually grew up in Chicago, moved out here for college and then culinary school, and back out to Chicago, then right back here. So Colorado is definitely where I find home.
And you've been with Safta since the beginning?
Since day one,
yeah. I thought so.
Yeah.
And so for people at home who don't know, let's talk about Alon and Safta.
All right. So all of Alon's restaurants right now are kind of modern Israeli, yep, and kind of focus on, all the regions that came to Israel after the Holocaust. So his restaurant down in New Orleans is called Saba. Opened about 6 months right before we did, and then came up here and opened Safta.
And he won a James Beard Award was it for Saba or?
That was for his work at Shaya.
Okay.
And then he had a couple nominations there as well.
So if you don't know what a James Beard Award is, it's basically like winning an Oscar, a Tony, a Grammy. It's a really big deal. He's super talented, super charismatic guy. I filmed a few shows with him. You can see on YouTube, Restaurants Near Me, Restaurateurs, and he couldn't be here because there's this little hurricane going on in New Orleans.
Unfortunately, so it seems like the team made it out okay. The restaurant seems like it fared okay, but our thoughts are definitely with everybody down there.
Absolutely. We need to toast to 300 episodes. What'd you bring me to drink today?
So it's called the Sunshine Daydream, and that's going to be a little bit of mezcal, lemon juice, and then a specialty spice of crystallized honey, a little bit of pink peppercorn.
No big deal.
No big
Do you even drink, Josh? I don't even know.
Barely.
And that's delightful. Ooh, gets you a little bit on the back there.
It's the smoky, yep.
Yeah, the little mezcal. You got that, Josh? All right. So, like I said, my favorite restaurant, what I always tell people is, they're like, what should we order? I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Can't go wrong.
Right? Do you agree?
I totally agree.
Okay. But you always have to start with saltines and pita. Now, today's pita will not be as hot as it normally is.
So yeah, we do aim to, have those hit right out of the oven and fresh on the plate. Serving with our labna and our lutenitsa. So the labna is like a thickened strained yogurt, a little bit of pink peppercorn, mint, and olive oil on that one.
That's always been there, I think.
Always.
Yeah.
Another one that will always be there is Alon's mom's recipe for lutenitsa.
Okay.
And this is a Bulgarian pepper spread, smoky charred eggplant, piquillo peppers, and tomatoes, and stewed overnight.
The first time I was there, I sit down, they give me one pita. I'm like, one pita? That's going to last me 2 seconds. And I didn't really get it. And then I tore it open, and I'm like, oh, it was hot and steam coming out of it. And then as soon as I finished it, another one hit the table. Yep. I'm like, that's why they don't give you more than one, so that it's always hot.
And there's also a trick there. I'd make the same mistake myself of filling up on pita before rounds 2 and 3. I still can't keep myself.
I think a lot of people do that there.
All the time.
And I feel like in every meal I eat in my life, I need meat. But the first 3 times, I never got past the saltines.
Sure.
And I'm like, I'm fully satisfied and I didn't have any meat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not but you brought some meat today. All right, let's just keep going up in order. I don't know, we'll call this. So I said to Josh, I don't know what this is because I feel like I know most of your dishes.
Yeah, so this one is a new one for us. We did it for an event we had this past week. This is our stuffed onions, and we made a merguez. Goes with a little bit of rice and dill and mint inside, rolled inside of like a blanched onion, and topped with a tomato sauce.
It's got to be amazing. Can't wait to try that. Totally. And then they asked me when I booked the Safta to do the show, they're like, well, what do you need us to bring food-wise? I'm like, you could not do the show and not bring the lamb hummus.
Yeah, so that one has been with us since day one, probably not going anywhere either. It's a lamb ragu hummus, and so it's a braised ground lamb with some fennel, orange peel, onions, and some of our spices.
I've had hummus in Israel. I've had hummus really all over the world. I don't understand. Why is your hummus better than everybody else's?
It's all in the method. We work really hard to get a lot of those skins off of there, and so the texture is just completely different. It's very light and airy instead of, dense and chunky.
So you get the smoothest hummus you've ever had in your life with wood-fired pita coming right out of the oven, hot as can be. Mm-hmm. This is why people don't get to the entrees.
Yep.
But you need to save room for the harissa chicken and the lamb shank.
So this one's our harissa chicken, charred lemon. Goes through a 2-day process, gets a brine first, and then goes on a marinade. And then when we cook it, it gets the harissa coated over the top and fired in our wood oven.
And it's meant for sharing, right? Your entrees?
Totally. Yeah. Everything here is really meant to be very family style and shareable. And
that's what I tell people. Go with a group. Just get a bunch of things, and you just start tearing and spreading, and it's conversation past this. Yeah. It's just so social.
The more people, the more you're able to try a whole bunch of different.
And I know, well, like you look at this, something like this, the size, and you're like, it doesn't look like that much, but it goes a long way.
It does.
And on to Liliana's desserts.
So our pastry chef, Liliana Myers, also been with us since day one, makes a fantastic baklava with pistachio and walnut, and she topped it with some raspberries here.
She's the one who did it last time we did What's for Lunch. What are your hours these days?
We're open from Tuesday till Sunday, 4:30 till close, as well as Saturday, Sunday brunch from 11 till 2:30.
You used to do lunch, but maybe one day you'll bring it back?
Maybe one day when the office buildings around us start filling in again.
All right. What reservations?
Reservations are definitely recommended, but we do have a lot of space for walk-ins at the bar and on our patio.
Okay. And somebody baked me a cake, so I think we should talk about that.
Absolutely.
I don't know who, but some girl named Becca. So episode 1, when we came up with the idea for this show, I'm like, started calling my friends, somebody come do this show with me. And I called Becca from Sugar Sisters, and she came and did episode 1, which was terrible. We were so bad.
It was great.
We were, as we should be bad at the beginning, and we got better. We were in this closet and one camera. It was really bad. But we've come a long way, and she was nice enough to bake me this cake. Can you see it at all, or do I need to tilt it?
Yeah, tilt it a little. Give us your face.
Which I know everybody wants to shove my face in this. I know you guys do, but... So Sugar Sisters in Castle Rock, give her a visit. This cake, her cakes are amazing, and she's got stuffed pies now. What is it, like an apple pie? Stuffed inside a cake. Yeah, she's crazy. She comes up with these crazy ideas. I think that's really about all I got. Did we forget anything?
I don't think so.
All right. Josh, means a lot that you came and did this. I know you hate being on camera.
Thanks for having me, Larry. Good to be here, especially for number 300.
And no shocking, I'm going for the lamb hummus. I'm gonna have a whole big shove it in my pie hole bite of this. We'll be back at it though tomorrow, episode 301. Let's eat. Woo!